You're listening to The Hardpoint with Onexpunchxdad and Code Rome's.
Welcome back to The Hardpoint, episode number 54. We're back, baby. We had a little break in the action here, but we're back. And man,
holiday break.
I'm hungry for more. My name is Josh. I go by Onexpunchxdad online.
My name is See, it's been a couple weeks.
Oh,
My name
you
is
already forgot. Come on, man.
What did we say?
You were C-Murd, then
I'm C-Murd, but I'm just forgetting the exact order in which I said these opening words.
I'm C-Murd. My name's
go
Cody.
by-
I go by C-Murd.
Okay, my name's Cody. I go by C-Murd,
He's-
and my fists are hungry.
His fists and his podcasting muscle are both very, very hungry. You look very like Christmassy. You look very festive. It looks like.
Thank you. I switched my lights
I see that.
for that reason.
I see you also.
Thank you for knowing that.
I was like the fifth week in a row I've noticed it and not said anything, but I'm going to say something now. There's a little bag to the right, I guess your right of the door that has a smiley face on it. Is it still there? Yep. It's like a winky smile. That is there every week. We got to give him a name.
That was a pair of shoes.
Oh.
Well, that's a Nordstrom bag.
Oh.
And then it was a box of some new shoes. And I don't know. I put it there when my office doors are open. That's technically hidden. You can't see it. But I guess from this vantage point, it's like the one time you can see it.
No,
that's funny.
I see him every week. He's there winking at me.
We need to give him a name, and he's now the third member of the show.
I feel like it needs to be a play on Nordstrom?
Winky.
Winky. We'll call him Winky. Hi, Winky.
Hi.
Hi. Good to see
Hey,
you.
man.
Good to see you.
Lucky, man. There's Winky.
Hey.
Hey, man. Come on, man.
Oh, just a bag from Nordstrom, man.
Lucky, man.
This is malarkey. It's been 2 weeks since we've done this, man. It's Thanksgiving. It's by the time actually the day that this comes out will be the day before Thanksgiving.
Yes.
And I remember very clearly I think it was like our third or fourth episode was our Thanksgiving episode last year. We worked our way back around. It's crazy to think.
Happy pre-Thanksgiving.
Yes, pre-thanks. Pre-thanks for listening to the show for over a year if you've been with us that long, if you remember that episode. Yeah. Holy cow, man. Yeah. Yeah, so we did miss an episode last week. Sorry about that. Life happens, baby.
It be happening.
But I feel like our track record pretty dang good. So I think we can deal with one L on the record. So we're 53-1 right now.
There we go. That's pretty good.
53-1. I like it.
That's pretty good.
I can deal with those stats.
It is weird that now things are coming back around. Like our Christmas episode, I put the tree up.
Yeah.
I was instructed within the last week or so to pull the tree down. And if you'll remember, my tree has auto splay. And that was a big talking point about a year ago. And as I'm, setting my tree up and it's splaying automatically, I'm transported back to that conversation.
Pine needles deployed.
Yep. And I remember that it was our third episode. We were in my kitchen and we had that LED strip set up on the trash bags behind us so the light would like shine up. I don't know if you remember all that.
We were jerry rigged back then. We haven't done an in-person in quite a while. It's been since July since we linked up to do an in-person. Been crazy. We gotta get some of those back on the board.
We really do.
We do. It's time.
Well, thanks for everybody. Everybody in the Discord was like, you know what? It's no big deal. We'll be here next week. Don't fret. So
the homies. I appreciate that. How are you doing this week, man?
Oh, I'm good. It's always busy leading up to holidays and stuff like that, but it's finally getting chilly. I'm having some great cold weather workouts, man. Like feeling good. feeling good top to bottom. I can't complain.
You look fantastic, man. The beard is really just, it's got that good, like, I feel like it scruffs different in the cold, honestly. Like it hugs your face a little better.
Yeah, got that winter beard going on for sure.
Absolutely.
I'm actually doing something a little different. You know, typically one might bulk up in the winter and cut in the summer. But no. I'm buying my winter coat in the summer. I'm zagging when everybody else is zigging. I'm slimming down
Okay.
this winter, and I'm going to emerge around April, May,
Beastly.
June with just washboard, baby.
Shredded wheat.
Washboard, yeah. I'm trimming up, counting macros, doing a lot of cardio, lifting hard, and I've dropped about 7 pounds. I know that doesn't sound like a lot.
Oh, no. That 7 pounds is a big deal. You don't.
I'm slowly shredding down. I'm feeling really good right now, man. So all that, cold weather, I thrive. Some people thrive in the summer. I thrive in the winter, baby.
You're in your moment right now. You're in your window.
I'm ready for pool season.
I classically was a hot weather guy. I wanted to be warm. I wanted to be I wanted to be warm. You know, I want not laser hot, but just regular warm.
Sure.
The summers they've been beating it out of me, man. Straight up. I am loving it. I've actually been it's just cold enough to where like I actually kind of like to go out in hoodie and shorts still.
Yeah.
To feel that breeze. There's something about it now that kind of almost like rejuvenates and wakes you up a little bit.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And cold showers, you know, I'm a cold shower guy every morning. They be hitting in the winter, dude. It is.
Yeah, I bet they do hit.
Way cold. The water feels 50 degrees colder. It's crazy.
It probably is 50 degrees colder, dude. That's absolutely just out of the question for me. I can't. I don't have that bone in my body.
You would love it.
I think I tried it one time after I realized that you were taking cold showers, and I was like, ugh.
It sucks. I'm not. It's the after effect that you're after. You're not after the cold shower itself. You're after what it brings you post cold shower. Every morning, I dread it. It sucks balls, but I do it, and then I feel like $1 million.
Well, maybe I got to give it another go. So you don't get in there and have some warm shower time first, and then crank it. You go cold.
I stand under the shower head and go straight to cold. As the water fires out of the nozzle, it's hitting me directly with freezing cold water.
I just imagine you like with the most like defensive posture possible.
Dude.
Just shoulders flexed, traps at full blast, and just like just taking it.
There's definitely a full body brace. Just
yeah. Oh man.
Oh, I'm good though. I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. We're getting by over here. Good. Spending a lot of time with the kids lately. I think I'm off the road for the year, which is good. I don't have to travel. I don't have to worry about leaving anybody behind. And I hate trying to FaceTime kids because they flip the phone around and it gives me nausea. Don't FaceTime children. They're bad at it. But no, I'm doing good. And then just gearing up, trying to select the right meat. I feel like I'm making a whole turkey. We don't have a ton of people that are going to be joining us for Thanksgiving this year. So it's a situation where I don't think a full bird is the right answer. So I think I'm going to do a turkey breast. Just maybe throw that on the smoker. Coupled with your favorite meat, the king of meats, honestly, the fairer Thanksgiving meat, ham.
We're talking ham.
We're talking ham, big boy. Again, a small one.
Cold and slimy meat.
It won't be cold. It'll be hot and smoky and delicious, and maybe a little slimy. But that's
maybe
okay.
I've had some whack meat. I don't know, some whack ham.
I could serve you some ham that's not whack. In fact,
whack free.
Whack free. whack free and conflict free ham. Absolutely coming right at you. But I'm excited. You know me though. We talked about this last year on the show. I'm a side dish guy. I love me some mashed potatoes and gravy. Yep. I love green bean casserole. I love stuffing. I feel like there's never enough, or it's just so good that it just gets eaten that fast. But lordy, I love some stuffing. Stuffing.
I feel like stuffing usually is in the smaller of all the pans.
It really like make if I'm coming to your Thanksgiving, make a mountain of it. Make too much. It will be enough. But make a lot.
Macaroni, would you consider that a Thanksgiving dish?
Some people do. So I actually, one Thanksgiving, I made smoked mac and cheese. And that was really good. I put like breakfast sausage in it. Not good for you, but man, it
don't care.
Tasted really good.
That sounds, I would have some of that.
Yeah, you would like it. There's no veggies in it. There's no big boy food in it. But I don't know. We probably talked about it last year. But what's your go-to on Thanksgiving? What's the one thing that's just like good every year? Are you a stuffing guy?
No, I don't really like Thanksgiving food. It's not good.
We talked about that also. Like my dad goes bananas for Thanksgiving food. Like he eats at Golden Corral a lot because they have year-round Thanksgiving food, which is odd. But yeah,
that is weird.
Thanksgiving as a whole is not a very appetizing meal.
No, I will usually go with the meat. Not too much. Not good meat. It's of all the meat available, the worst meat is served on Thanksgiving. Mashed potatoes and gravy, I'll get some of that.
Sure.
Any sort of casserole and like a roll. That's about it. I'm not going for the stuffing. I don't like the jam really.
The cranberries?
Pecan pie, yeah. But like some dessert, pecan pie or something.
Okay.
Get into that for sure.
Pecan pie, I think we also talked about. I guess I don't need to mention it, but
dude, that with like
the goop in the middle,
whipped cream on top.
Yeah. Pecan pie filling needs to just come in a bucket by itself. Just that gelatinous caramelized, whatever it is. Give me that. Yeah, just. So yeah, Thanksgiving coming up. That'll be great, and then we're moving right into Christmas. So we'll be in the Christmas zone.
Big Seamus. We're gonna try and get an in-person episode here. At least one by the end of the year.
Oh yeah. If maybe even a couple. Who knows? But yeah, it's a busy time and family and all that stuff. But we'll make something happen. But yeah, good. Happy holidays, everyone. Hey, let's get right into our little second act here. We call it "What Are You Crushing?" It is a segment where we talk about what we're listening to, what we're watching, what we're reading, what we're getting into, what we're vibing with. What are you crushing, Cody?
I've been waiting for this segment.
This man is, if you're listening and not watching, this man is ready to say something important.
All right. I actually got 3 things, and I'm gonna go from least amount to say to most amount to say.
All right.
Number 1, you put me on. This isn't actually showing you anything new, but Throne
rocks.
Is the ultimate gym band, man. Put them up there with Gideon. Put them up there with Spite.
Yeah.
They're up there. That Blue album, start to finish, is a walk around the gym with your chest bowed out with a pump, just want somebody to look at you the wrong way.
It's the perfect marriage of some bands are really heavy, some bands are really aggressive. They are somehow heavy. They are so aggressive. There is such a razor's edge to their music that I can't really quite like encapsulate in words. But yeah, Throne, not like a king's throne, THROWN, like thrown across the room by this band because they're heavy and good. Throne is amazing.
It feels like a mashup of several. Not that they have their own unique kind of style and sound, but like some of the classics that we like, just some of our classic gym bangers, it feels like they take elements of all these things.
There is, yeah. I think initially I was like, that's kind of Spite sounding, but there's more to it than that. They're definitely different from Spite.
It's brutal. It's really good. And whatever, let me shout it out properly. Excessive Guilt
Okay.
by Throne. And they're not a band with a big discography. Like they must be a newer, or a lot of it's not on Spotify. I don't know, because there's this one album and then like 2 more singles from a couple of years ago. That's it.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of music from these guys. So Throne, fire.
Yeah. Concur.
Number 2. I don't know how you're going to feel about this. Perhaps you've heard of this band. Perhaps you have not. I don't know. I don't even know if it's really your style. But I've stumbled upon a band recently called 4 Year Strong.
Why do I feel like I have heard of that band? Hold on.
Now, I've done some back testing, and their older music, not that great to me. It's too A Day to Remember-ish. Like, I was listening to some older stuff, and it's very like that, which just isn't my jam today.
Okay.
But specifically, their newest album called Analysis Paralysis, with this album cover, I don't know if you can see this.
With the like shaggy dog.
With the dog, yes.
Okay.
Is fantastic.
Hmm.
It's not heavy. It's pop punk. Okay, so it's not like it's not
Okay.
going to get you hyped.
Okay.
A couple things I really like about this band. One, there's nothing stock about them. You might think pop punk, we're going to get some stock drums, some stock sounding guitars. Dude, they got some riffage in here. Their drums, I know you and I are both big appreciators of some good drumming. Drums off the chart in these songs.
I think I have heard this band, but it's been many years.
Couple screams here and there, nothing too heavy, but pop punk. And what's really fascinating about them, they have 2 lead singers.
Okay.
They both sing and they both play guitar.
Oh, wow.
So they're really weird. If you watch their music videos, I'll send you one. They're very entertaining. They're very weird guys. But there's 2 lead singers and they both play guitar and they both sing. It's really badass.
Okay. I might swing back around on 4 Year Strong.
I'll send you
and it is
my favorite song.
It is 4 Year Strong, not 4 Years Strong.
Correct. Singular year.
Yeah, just the 4 Year Strong is very
4 Year Strong.
okay.
And those 2 guys, I think, are, dude, their music goes back to like 2007. They're
Oh, wow.
an older band, and these 2 guys are original members, which,
Yeah.
that gets me going. So, yeah, 4 Year Strong. I love it. I'll send you my favorite song off that newest album. You're either gonna bounce on or you're gonna bounce off it. Probably won't be any in between, but it's really, really, really good.
Okay. All right.
4 Year Strong.
I'll circle back.
All right.
All right.
And for the big one,
The big one. Here we go.
I downloaded a new game over this weekend.
Oh. Okay.
A game that absolutely has its claws in me.
Really?
I'm obsessed with it. I've played it every day, which I don't find a lot of times to play games right now.
This has to be
I've
recent
found time.
because you were loading up Cyberpunk the other night. So
I did play Cyberpunk the other night.
So this is like the past maybe a couple of days then?
This was actually that night. I was waiting for this game to download.
Oh. All right, do tell.
It's a new game.
Okay.
Never played it before. Barely aware. I've been tracking it for a while. I've been watching the hands-on and the preview videos.
Okay.
But are you aware of Stalker 2?
Okay. Yeah, I'm aware. Have not played it. The only reason this game is cool, if I understand it correctly, is the studio that makes it is a Ukrainian game studio. So it is. This is a game that was made literally under the siege of the Russian invasion, which makes it kind of cooler. But that's all I know. That is everything I know about Stalker 2. I've seen everything you're talking about, like playthroughs and people playing it. Please tell me about Stalker 2.
I've like I said, I've been tracking it for a while, and first of all, it is hard. It's Demon Souls-like. It does not hold your hand. Everything's trying to kill you.
Okay.
It's, you never have enough bullets. You never have enough ammo. It's a borderline like a survival horror game.
Okay.
When you die, like on the death screen, there's actually a death counter. So you were expected to die a lot. It is very difficult.
So it is a very like bleak game. It looks like
Yes.
it's like Fallout but uglier.
Yeah, exactly. It's in Chernobyl. It's set in like a fictitious Chernobyl.
Okay.
And yes, I mean it is very bleak, very dead. And I think what I'm enjoying about this game so much is that it's the exact opposite in a game like Cyberpunk.
Sure.
As in there's no progression system. There's no upgrade. There's no perk points.
Okay.
There's no upgrade. You are just a guy. You're not the chosen one.
So you're
not on your
progression is just like the items you're picking up that kind of make
exactly
your life a
you
little
can find
easier.
better guns, better equipment,
Okay.
better armor. You can upkeep and upgrade those.
Okay.
But
Weapon damage?
you're just a guy. What do you mean?
Do the weapons like break down over time? You got to repair
Yes.
your guns.
You gotta
and rifles?
keep those
Okay.
upkeep. The number of times I've been in a firefight and my gun is jamming because it's in bad condition or whatever.
Oh my god, that's stress-inducing.
It is stress-inducing. So you're not the chosen one. You're not on this path to be some like OP warlord. And I realized playing Cyberpunk on Saturday night
Yeah.
that games that are too dense or have too much of an upgrade system, or you unlock combos or moves or this, or I don't think I like those games. I spend half the time in the menu trying to figure out what to do next, stressing over where my point should go,
Yeah.
and when will I ever use this move, and will I remember this combination,
Yeah.
and which this, and which that. I spend half my time in Cyberpunk in the menus.
Yeah.
And I had this realization, and I'm like, I don't know if that's the type of game for me.
Have you officially fallen off Cyberpunk for that reason?
I'll keep it downloaded. It's
on the
I think
shelf.
Saturday night I realized
Going
like
back on the shelf again.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so. I've tried twice. It's a great game. I'm not saying it's bad.
Sure.
I think it's just too much for me. I think if I had nothing else going on and could just play Cyberpunk all day,
Yeah.
I'd probably love it. But it is a lot.
Yeah. It really is.
lot.
There's a lot of side quests. There's a lot of systems, like you were saying, a lot of
Yes.
UI clutter that you got to kind of figure out. And yeah, at the end of the day, it's like I've unlocked the ability to like speed around the map and chop people up, but I don't know how to do that.
Right. It's just too much to grasp. This game, I spend 90% of the time in the game, not in menus.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of time in the inventory.
Okay,
But-
can I ask what is the setup for this game? What's the like are you just wandering a wasteland without a story you just kind of come to, or is there like a on-ramp for the story?
There's an on-ramp. The zone, as it's called, is like the Chernobyl part. So
Okay.
I think the idea is that like in this zone, there's anomalies, which are just these like random things that will happen that will kill you, or it's just random things happening.
Okay.
Like at random. There's monsters, but evidently outside of the zone, the world is more or less normal. It's not like Fallout where like the whole world is
Okay.
a nuclear wasteland. So you're kind of in the zone. And the setup is basically something happens, something gets taken from your main character. You get smuggled into the zone to get this thing back, and then you're betrayed, and then the story kind of takes off from there.
Okay.
So there are side quests, there's NPCs that'll send you, on with stuff to do. There's the main story, which I'm kind of focusing on right now. But there's everything from merchants, you can loot, you can sell stuff, you can upgrade stuff. But the zone is like the main draw here. It's creepy, man. I forget what they're called. These storms will come where you have to like get inside because everything outside kills you.
Okay.
There's all kinds of hidden stuff. The whole draw of this game is just the exploration of getting from A to B. There's no fast travel.
Right.
And this map is massive. Like
Wow.
breathtaking large. So everywhere you go is by foot. This game is forcing you to live in this world and get from A to B and try to survive because you can't fast travel there.
I kind of like that. What are the missions like? What is it? What do they have at you? Is it like go get the thing? Now go to this place, turn the power on, go get the thing.
Yeah, so far the main mission has kind of been, go talk to this guy, go do this. The story is kind of compelling. I'm already compelled so far, and apparently it really picks up. I don't know. I'm 5 hours into it, I think 5 or 6 hours.
Yeah.
Apparently this is like a 30-hour campaign though. Like it is
Oh wow.
long,
Big.
and the map is huge.
Okay. Okay. How is okay. No, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's a tough sell.
It looks fun.
I would encourage you to try it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it is, you're either gonna like really get sucked into it, or you're just gonna be like, man, it's not very inviting. It's not warm. It's
not a cozy game.
It's not a cozy. It's just very hard and not forgiving.
How is
at all?
Like you said, it's hard. How is the combat as far as like, does it remind you of any other shooters? Is there anything you can kind of compare it to? Is it tight, or is it sluggish on purpose to make it feel more real maybe?
It's tight, but it's not fast.
Okay.
You don't move very fast. It's not called, you're not hopping around running a gun. You'll just fucking die. Like you can't run and gun your way. You have to be very, like the firefights with humans remind me kind of like PUBG. Remember how we played that? How tense and like kind of realistic some of those firefights felt?
Is it so are you kind of like, unless you have armor and helmets and stuff, are you pretty much like one hit?
A couple, yeah. I mean, 3-4 hits and you're dead.
Oh wow.
So
okay.
Cover big time.
Yeah.
Headshots very important.
Yeah.
If you just run up in there, I mean, you're not going to make it at all. So
okay.
You have a knife, but melee is not really big. It's mostly gun combat.
Okay.
Apparently I think there's 30 guns. There's a bunch of different guns in there.
Oh my God.
I mean, dude, it's just, you have a flashlight. That's the other thing. So at night, there's a day-night cycle. At night, it is pitch black.
So you got to use.
You cannot see anything. You got to use your flashlight. But then that attracts monsters. And enemies. Yeah. Apparently this hasn't happened to me, but you have to eat to maintain your hunger. And like if you're really hungry, apparently monsters can hear your stomach growling. And so if you don't keep that up, you'll get attacked that way.
Hell no, man.
I snuck into like this military base, and you're going underground, and every corner you turn, you can, angle around corners, and you have your flashlight. I mean, every corner, dude, you're sweeping. You don't know what's in there. Get some 3D headphones on. It's so immersive.
It looks very interesting, man. It does. That is something I think I want to watch you play before I would invest. But that's cool. It's I haven't seen you this excited about a game in a while, so
dude, I'm
eager to see how
it's scratching that itch. I've tried a couple different games to get me going this winter.
Yeah,
I kind of bounced off the Call of Duty campaign. I was hyped on that, and then it lost steam. I tried to force Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Kind of lost steam with it. And this is on Game Pass.
Okay.
And it's
a no-brainer.
It's reeled me in, man. I'm all about Stalker 2 right now.
Okay. All right. That's a
good. I hope I did a good job selling that. It's so good.
That's a good rec. I think I can roll with that for sure. Stalker 2. Interesting.
And it's a whole, it's got a cult following. I guess there were a bunch of older. It was a PC game back in the day. It's got a cult following.
I've been seeing a lot of Stalker 2. It's like a Helldivers 2 situation of like, it is so prominent that it might as well just be Stalker 1 because I never heard of Stalker before Stalker 2.
Yeah.
Same with Helldivers. So it's the year of the sequel that is pretty much the introduction of the franchise to the world. So
right.
So all right.
Well, that's what I had to get off my chest. I couldn't wait to tell you that.
I'm glad, man. I'm glad. Yeah. For me, man, I haven't been gaming a ton, so I'll say if I had been gaming, I probably would have tried to play some Black Ops 6. So I haven't been gaming a ton. I will say, pretty short crushing this week, but I did last night. I don't know if you have cruised Netflix recently, but There is a documentary about the murder of JonBenet Ramsey that has come out, which this happened right when you were born. She was she was this 6 or 7 year old girl who was in like pageants. So she had, like most of the photos of her, she's like kind of like really grossly like rouged up. You know what I mean? Like you've seen these like pageants that people put their kids in where these kids look like it's like they're trying to make them look like adult women, and it's very, very disgusting. It's a disgusting practice to me. But anyway, yeah, she was murdered. And do you remember the JonBenet Ramsey thing at all, even after the fact? Are you familiar with this? Again,
I'm very unfamiliar with it.
Yeah, you were born in 94, so you would have been like 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, it swept the nation. I was probably 8 or 9 when this happened, and I actively remember like seeing magazine covers in the grocery store about it and all that. But anyway, this very young girl, the parents call the cops because they find a ransom note that says, we're going to hurt your daughter, we're going to kill your daughter, you need to give us you need to pay $118,000, which they mentioned in the documentary that is a very odd, like, specific amount for a ransom person to ask for. And anyway, the cops come over and investigate the house. This all happens in the span of like one day. The cops come over and are like investigating in the house because their daughter is missing at this point.
Right.
And they have like friends come over. There's people like washing dishes and the cop or the police lieutenant who was conducting the investigation didn't cordon off the area and declare it a crime scene. So there's people just leaving their DNA all over this place. They're moving stuff around and all that stuff. Anyway, that day, the father finds the daughter in the basement dead.
Whoa.
That day. The cops don't find her. The dad finds her. And it becomes this whole thing. The nation starts asking, did you or the mom kill her? And there's a lot of speculation about, like, some of this doesn't add up. And I got to say, like, having remembered this whole thing and, like, kind of, like, watching it from a distance, like being a child, it's upsetting. I will tell you, it's very upsetting. This little girl died a horrible death. And that's all I'll say. It was really bad. And it is a thing of, like, I don't know what is correct. I don't know.
Really?
I do not know what happened. I don't know who killed this sweet little girl, man. It's It's a really, really terrible thing. But the documentary, again, very well made, very, very riveting so far. I think I'm on episode 3. And they get into a lot of just the detail of the trial, and because the parents end up getting implicated and they go to trial. They stand trial for the murder of their daughter, which they were.
Is there a resolution, like, outside of in real life? Like, is there a resolution?
The parents were acquitted. They never did. They never did get, like, sent to jail or anything like that. But, it's just a crazy, nutty thing, man. But it is a great documentary. It's weird to see documentaries about things that I, like, lived through, but, like, you know, happened in my lifetime that are now, like, that was, you know, almost 30 years ago. You know what I mean? She would be probably about my age. She'd be about 36 or 37, I think.
So was nobody sentenced for anything for this? Like, there was just nobody found guilty?
Nobody knows who killed JonBenet Ramsey, dude. Nobody.
And I guess they found enough evidence to prove the parents innocent?
Well, I guess, yeah. They were acquitted.
Wow.
And then the mother eventually passed away because she had cancer of some kind. So she's been dead quite a while now. But yeah, man, it's a really good doc. It's something I just kind of picked just to kind of have background noise, and I ended up being locked in for it. So
wow. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what the documentary is called, but it's on the new to Netflix recommended, whatever, like probably in the top 3 ribbons for adults. Yeah. It's a good one. Hot recommend for
Oh,
sure.
yeah. Taylor actually asked me about that maybe yesterday, just
Yeah.
if I was aware of any of it.
Yeah.
And I wasn't at all.
Yeah, it
But
was
I
like
might check that out.
growing up, it was that and the O.J. Simpson trial were like
Okay.
the two. I mean, it had happened before that, but in my lifetime, it was John Benet Ramsey and the O.J. Simpson trial were. I mean, just had the nation in a death grip, man. It was literally like back before we had memes, we had high profile like criminal trials like O.J.
Right.
Simpson. And then like there were later ones like do you remember the whole Casey Anthony trial? Do you remember that at all?
Mm-mm.
That was a big one. Jodi Arias. I'm kind of like intrigued. I kind of want to go down a rabbit hole on some of these like high because it's like they're high profile. So there's a lot of times there's cameras in the courtroom.
Right.
And there's a lot of of course there's a lot of conspiracy theory around a lot of these, but yeah, man. Anyway, that documentary, very good. Highly recommend.
I'll check it out. I'm interested.
Yeah, but that's it. That's my crushins for the week.
That's a good crushing.
Thanks. Well, was that it?
Move to our meat sandwich.
I'm ready for a meat sandwich, brother. You good?
Yeah.
Cody's
interstitial.
Cody's human suit malfunctioned for a second there. He's like fixing the eyes, burping.
Needed a moment, man.
I'm good.
Got to readjust, recalibrate.
Yeah, you just like make sure your eye holes are lined up on your human suit there.
Okay.
All right.
Meat sandwich time.
Meat sandwich.
I've been working on this big thought lately, and I think it's finally come to fruition. And I'm going to present the bigger thought and then take you to the more specific place that kind of kicked this whole thing off.
Okay.
And I don't know if you're going to agree with me on this. I'll be interested just to kind of get your opinion. But the overarching thought is that we have too many options for everything. For everything.
Okay.
So I'm talking games,
Yeah.
movies,
Yeah.
shows,
Yeah.
music.
Yeah.
There is anything you want in any of those categories on demand at any moment.
Yeah.
And I've found myself games being a big one of them. I bounce on and off of games frequently.
Okay.
The last time that I was just like, this is that game and I'm going to see it through no matter what because I bought it or it's my only option has been a really long time.
Sure.
I remember when we were kids or back in the day, you played a game and you might have played through some games that weren't even that great or that you didn't like that much because it's like the one you had.
I've rolled credits on some hunks of shit in my life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you probably enjoyed it more than maybe a better game today, but in the back of your head, everything's competing for your attention, I guess, in a nutshell.
Okay.
So it's hard to enjoy what's in front of you because for me at least, I'm constantly thinking about, is there something better I should be doing instead of this thing that I'm currently doing? So it's hard just to like enjoy one thing.
Okay.
So games have been a big thing about that. I've actually thought about canceling Game Pass and purchasing games.
I think there's something to that, man. Like if I look back over the span of time, because it's been like 5 years since Game Pass launched, maybe even longer. It has been longer, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
I've not rolled credits on a Game Pass game as I sit here and think about it. Not a single one. There's
always
ones,
the next.
There's ones that I've played a lot.
Right.
But yeah, I think a lot of it too is like I have kind of an apprehension because there are some games like Monster Hunter World was on Game Pass for a while, and I love that game. It's not a game you enjoyed necessarily, but they took it off Game Pass, and I put a lot of hours into that game.
Yeah.
But that was probably the most. That and I guess Black Ops 6 And I haven't played the campaign. I haven't really like beat it. You know, I just play it a lot.
Right. I mean, there's no reason for you to sit here and if a part gets hard and you keep dying, like continuing to try to get past that part. Or if maybe there's a little bit of a lull, it's too easy just to say, let's just go find a different game.
Yeah.
Then, to whatever. So games, that's one thing I've thought about doing that. Another, like movies or shows, there's too many options. You just flip and scroll and you'll give one like 5 minutes. And if it doesn't immediately hook you, then you might go to the next. So that's kind of the overarching thought. The specific place that I don't know if this is like too crazy or not, and I'm curious to see how you feel about it, but music. I had the crazy idea canceling Spotify and paying for my music from now on.
Really? Like through what?
Because
through what service?
iTunes.
Oh,
like buying a song.
Buying a song.
Because I feel like, yeah, and this all kind of started from this 4 Year Strong band that I was talking about and that album, and I enjoy it front to back. I'm a big album guy. When I find something that I can hit play on the first song and listen all the way through, there's too many options on Spotify. It's every song ever you can just go find. And I feel like a lot of the times when we talk about being in a lull, I don't have any good music right now. There's plenty of good music, but it's like you haven't found the next new thing that's got you around the neck. And I feel like if you pay for the songs, that maybe you will enjoy them more. You'll enjoy them longer because you actually purchased something.
Sure. There's something too, man. Like I remember back in the radio days when I was still like a radio rock song would reach out and grab me. I remember sitting around in my dad's car or truck, whatever, with Rock 108 on and waiting for Enter Sandman to come on. I was probably 9. But just like waiting, and they would play Ozzy. They would play whatever, this, that. They play Ozzy again. They play the Smashing Pumpkins. And finally, you'd hear, and I was like, yes, because I waited, and I put that work in just to hear that song. That made that song better to me at the time. I mean, now I've heard Enter Sandman a million times. Heard it live. And it was rad. Yeah, like that, or like even in the CD sense of just like, yeah, like you had to work for it a little bit. Now it is very much like the mystique of a song that you have to kind of chase down is now gone. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and the idea of like building your collection. Here's all these songs I've ever bought that at one time I really enjoyed that song enough to actually purchase it. They're all in one place. I know on Spotify you can save songs, but it's too easy on Spotify to fly by a band, really enjoy a song, you forget to save it, and then it gets lost in the abyss, and you never, ever fly by that band or that song ever again.
Certainly.
Whereas if you actually enjoyed it, and paid the 99. I don't even know what a song costs today. Is it?
I think they were on iTunes. They were normally 99 cents, and I think an album was typically only $9.99. So at max, which is crazy because I don't know. Maybe it's more now, but like based on inflation, like a CD at, I think if you bought it at like Best Buy, like one of the more like high end shopping places, they were touching 20.
Wow.
I definitely think I spent like $18, $19 on a couple albums. Like a good, I think, it just depends on where you could find, like we had a record store, when I was cutting my teeth on like, it was Christian hardcore at the time. So like Norma Jean or Zayo or any of that. We had a CD store that dealt almost exclusively in that type of music, which is of course since shut down. But even like, you remember like FYE and Sam Goody and all that, those places, like they had.
Oh yeah.
But it was in the mall, right? So they were marked up, but but now, iTunes, you can, unless it's changed. But yeah.
And it's still,
used to be
it's
$10.
still a step. Yeah. It's still progressed past buying a CD and having to store something physical and then have a machine to produce or to listen to that
Right.
through.
Right.
But not so far as just paying for a service. It makes it harder to enjoy anything.
Yeah.
When you can have everything, why would you enjoy anything? It's just your focus is spread too thin. And I wonder if at any point ever, if we're going to come full circle to people realizing like, I don't enjoy anything because I can't pick anything. There's too many options. I'm just going to buy something and I'm going to enjoy that no matter what. And if we'll come all the way back to a similar place to where we began.
I think that's absolutely true of games for me. That is absolutely
Yeah.
true. Music, if I hear a good song, I typically do try to smash the plus button and get it on a playlist. That way I know to come back to it. It's definitely changed how I listen to music. It hasn't ruined music for me, but it has changed it for sure. But with games, absolutely. Like I don't know, like there was something about you bought it and the stakes do feel a little higher if you don't play it after you bought it. You know what I mean?
Especially, because the cost to entry for a game is typically $60.
Yeah.
Pretty steep, if you're paying that.
70 now.
$70. Yeah, and I guess maybe games versus music, the difference is like music you can just fly through really quickly. Games you're going to sink some time into. To summarize, I feel like less can be more in so many different scenarios, and just media in general. I had the realization recently that being able to have anything at any point is not necessarily good, and it doesn't promote enjoying anything, really, in my opinion.
That's very, I don't know, man. That's pretty deep. That's pretty deep, Cody.
What do you think?
I don't think you're wrong. I really, sorry, I pulled the mic closer. I don't think you're wrong. Some of the convenience is good. You know what I mean? Some of the convenience is good, but it definitely changes stuff. For the games thing, you got me thinking about deleting Game Pass right now, honestly.
Because just Xbox Live, if you want that, it's only $9.99. It's not $20 a month.
Yeah.
Pay $10 a month, you got gold, and then you just buy your games and spend time with them.
Yeah. And I think outside of Minecraft, like the kids don't really play any of those games on the regular anyway.
Right.
So
maybe, what is it? $20 a month? I'm just trying to see, like, maybe, and I'm not even saying it's going to work out to be cheaper. It's not a money thing. This is strictly through the lens of like enjoying
$240 a year is wild for that.
Yeah.
But then again, I don't know. Yeah, you got me thinking about it. I'll say that. You got me thinking about it.
Well, that's my big thought.
I hate those big thoughts. THOT.
I'm going to start buying everything from now on.
Let's hit some write-ins.
All right. Edward Pellew. I don't think we've read. There we go. Gents, what TV show would you turn into a game, and what type of game? For me, it's Expanse on Amazon. I know you're a big fan of that.
Yeah.
Check it out. It's epic, and it would be an open world spaceship RPG.
Hell yeah.
Starfield, but not shit.
That's a good. I was actually kind of hoping for Expanse vibes when Starfield came out. You know, that raises a good question. By the way, Edward Pellew, love The Expanse. It's one of my favorite shows. I, out of nowhere, got the sudden urge to fire up Starfield recently. I don't know why.
I'm kind of there with you. I'm not going to lie.
I had pleasant times with it. Ultimately, I did walk away kind of disappointed. I think the cyberpunk renaissance kind of stole the thunder a little bit, but I didn't hate it. I played a lot of it. If I hated it, I've been thinking about it, man.
I have fun. I don't look back on it poorly. I look back. It's funny. Within the last 24 hours, I had a similar thought. I'm like, man,
Isn't that nutty?
yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe I will. Fuck.
Maybe because for starters, I know they released a really big update and patch. I think it may look a little bit different if you go back to it, depending on
Okay.
how long ago you played.
Yeah.
But also, if you could go back and play it through the lens of lower expectations, not thinking it was going to be this like generational, groundbreaking space exploration, just take it for a Bethesda game
Yeah.
for, all the faults and quirks and oddities and enjoy it for what it is. And I think those are the people that loved that game.
I think here's my thing about that game that kind of made me a little mad is that I expected it to kind of be. I think when GTA 6 comes out, we're going to look at Red Dead 2 and be like, that was the stepping stone to get to GTA 6 from GTA 5. Like that showed that they didn't consider it like hey, here's something to chew on while we make GTA 6. That was one of the greatest games ever created, if not the.
Yeah.
But also, it almost kind of alludes to what's coming in GTA 6. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of movement and environment interaction that is going to directly mimic some of the stuff. And some of it will be new. I have a feeling a lot of it will be new too, but I think there's going to be a lot that was in Red Dead 2 as far as like maneuvering throughout the world. That's going to be in GTA 6, and I think that's going to make me happy. That didn't happen with Starfield. I felt like it, in a lot of ways, it was worse than Fallout 4. It was worse than Skyrim, even, which came out 13 years ago or something crazy. Mm-hmm. There were, like the faces. We talked about the faces. I think it was one of the first episodes we did. The faces in that game are ghoulish. Right. Just unpleasant to talk to people in that game, man. Everyone looks bizarre and they don't blink right, and their eyes are just like dead. I don't know why though, but I got that itch. Anyway, to the question of what TV show would I want to see made video game? Do you have an answer?
I've been trying to sit here and think. Nothing is like jumping out at me.
Yeah. As in terms of like shows that I watch, like documentaries don't really I can't really do anything with that. That is a tough question. The Expanse is actually a really good answer. Like I could see that being a really fun kind of like open world type experience. And that's
give me
that's my favorite show.
The Mandalorian. Give me a Mandalorian game.
Okay. I could see a Mando game. What is it? Same thing? Kind of like are you free, like maybe like a Jedi Survivor kind of style, or a Fallen Order, like you're kind of hopping planet to planet doing missions and stuff? Or
it doesn't need to be open world. Give me not so linear that it's just scripted and boring, but like give me a more single player, story driven, just single player story focused, like linear game.
Maybe with the sheen of The Last of Us. Maybe if you make it look like that and give me that attention to environment. That's the thing about open world games a lot of times is like in lieu of like making them beautiful, they just make them big. And like The Last of Us games are not necessarily huge sprawling open worlds, but walking through those environments does feel pretty cool. You know what I mean? It looks amazing. So maybe a Mando game in that setting. I think that's a good idea actually. So here's my thing. Probably my favorite show that I cleared this year, as far as like started episode 1 and watched it to at least as far as it's been, is The Boys. Now, I will say this. We got a Suicide Squad game this year. We got like a Batman Arkham Knights Robin game last year. They were both dog shit. Superhero games, typically, there's a few caveats. The Arkham games are great. The Spider-Man games are great. Outside of that, superhero games kind of suck ass. So
Yeah.
I don't know, like, you know, are you playing as what's the main guy's name in the boys? I can't even remember. Fuck.
Wow.
Why do I want to call him Stewie? It's not Stewie.
Homelander.
No, not Homelander. I'm talking about the main human guy.
Oh, Huey.
Huey. I was like, Stewie?
Stewie.
Brian. Maybe you play as him. Maybe you're the butcher. You know, maybe fuck it. Maybe you get Homelander. You just go full God mode. I love that show, and it's really the only show that I think could lend itself to a video game, but I don't think it would be a good video game.
There's no way that would be a good game.
I don't think it would be.
No way.
I don't think it would be. Yeah, superhero games specifically, like recently, the Avengers game was ass. Like none of those look fun at all. So I guess that's the best I can muster for that.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Brad rules. How hard is too hard music wise? I know longer than 4 hours, contact a physician.
Yeah. I see what you're doing.
How hard is he talking about? Like how heavy is too heavy, or how hard is too hard music wise?
I think he's talking about like maybe heavy or aggressiveness. I'll say this. I don't like, I've gotten to where like I've started to not like the chaotic noise. I don't care for blast beats. I've never been a blast beats guy. If they're used tastefully, I get down with that. But even like breakdowns, like every TikTok that I see that's trying to get me to listen to a band, the caption is like heaviest breakdown of the year, and it's the same shit every time. It's just boo, doo doo doo, and it, you know, guttural vocals over it. Like, no, it's a heavy breakdown, I guess. It's
right.
They're just playing really low and long notes.
It's a breakdown. It's not the breakdown.
It's definitely a breakdown. Yeah, no, I think when you just fall back on those tropes and you just try to go as frenetic and crazy and fast as you can, or you try to like, let's slow it down even more. My favorite breakdowns are normally pretty like 180 beats per minute, like kind of kinetic, like da 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 da, like something that kind of has some athletics to it. Like those are the ones I like, and they're not necessarily the heaviest, but I like that they evoke more like movement and motion. I've never liked like doom like droning breakdowns. I think everyone's like, hey, look, we're just doing it slower. Like, okay, all right, very good.
Slower, not always. Maybe it is heavier. I don't know. I'm right there with you though.
Yeah.
I feel like you and I traveled to the depths of heavy, found our limits, and now we're kind of like, you know, we're finding that sweet spot.
Yeah,
I know you and I both like groove.
Yeah,
and just a little bit of yes, it doesn't have to be all fast noise.
Yeah,
there's nothing to like move to there.
Yeah, and it changes. Like there's some days where I'm a spite throne guy. There's other days that I'm a bands like 4 Year Strong or Dayseeker. You know what I mean? Something a little, it is more melodic than heavy. It just depends on what kind of day I'm having, really. But spans the spectrum, honestly.
And I feel like heavy isn't a linear thing. There's different levels of heavy, and a band could be heavier in a different way. You know, it's kind of hard to like. It's not necessarily just a linear scale of not heavy to the heaviest.
Yeah,
and they're all perfectly.
Yeah. I think if a band wants me to listen to them and all they can say is like, we're super fucking heavy. Okay, cool. Awesome. What else? Like,
what's your X factor?
Yeah. Like everyone's super fucking heavy, man. Everyone's got fucking 12-string guitars now. Like, I mean, you know, I get it. Show me something good. All right, I got time for one more, then I got to do bedtime.
Oh, I was about to say, I think that's it.
Okay. I got time for no more. Hey, thank you so much for everyone who wrote in. Again, sorry we missed you guys last week, but we're back. we're all set. We're gonna keep on rolling here into the Christmas season. Looking forward to that. Hey, happy Thanksgiving to all the hard pointers out there. If you observe Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving, that is. If you don't, eat some turkey anyway. Because it's bland and dry, and we need to get rid of it. So eat it. Slather it in gravy while you're at it.
Yeah. But when I said that's it, I didn't mean we ran out. I just meant that's all we got.
That's all we got.
We have more write-ins. Not for today, though.
We'll get them next week. We'll do Santa's letter bag before the end of the year.
Hell yeah.
So you guys just max out, and we'll read them off. Do a whole show of it.
Rapid fire,
baby. But hey, I want to say thank you guys for tuning in. If you like this episode, leave us a review, leave us a comment, give us a subby. We love that. It does good business for the show. And yeah, happy holidays.
You're listening
to
to the
you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Hardpoint homies.
Dad and
For
Code
sure.
Rome's.
Baja blessings this season. Tis the season for Baja blessings. Little kiss. Get fested. We'll see you next week.
Bye.